scale of 1 to 10. Their looks, physical looks, scale 1 to 10. We'll start with you. We'll go around the table. Go ahead.
8. So 8.5.
8.5.
Did she just say what I think she just said? I must listen. My fault. I must be tripping. Let me go back real quick. She must say like maybe 4, 4.5.
Ask everyone to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10. Their looks, physical looks, scale 1 to 10. We'll start with you. We'll go around the table. Go ahead.
8. So 8.5.
She's dead serious. She looking him dead in his eyes with that answer. Oh yeah, this is out of pocket. And then the lady next to her said 8.5, so she's 0.5. Yeah. Okay. All right.
8.5.
I'm a 10.
7.
Yeah, that laugh she just made, I want y'all to peep. She knows she is talking out her ass. That's too much smiling and that little giggle at the end because she knows she is out of pocket for that answer too. A 10?
7.
8.
6.5.
I'd say 7.58. 4.
That's lower than last time.
Yeah.
I used to say 6. I'm a 5.
In front of all these beautiful women, how could I ever not humble myself down to a 4, really?
Proud of you, Andrew.
Yeah.
Took guts.
I'm a 5. I give myself a 5. So wait, 8.5, 10, 7? 8? Okay. All right.
Brian, you rated yourself lower than usual.
Yeah, I dropped.
No, stop asking Brian questions and ask that big one on your far side some questions because we need some answers of why she chose 8. And then after, hold on, let me get big screen. Then after we figure out why she chose the answer she chose, we got to get back to number 10. So there's some answers we gonna need, and we gonna need them quickly because you can't just be throwing out crazy statements like that. You are like 400 pounds, woman. 400 pounds.
I've been
Wait, what
getting a
did you
little
rate
chubby.
yourself?
6.5.
See, now that's humble.
Yeah, that's humility.
That's
right there.
humble. That's humility. Right? That's the thing that's usually harder for men to do.
He probably looking at her while he says it. That's a humble. That's humility. Looking her dead in her eyes.
Just say it. Just point it out.
I've noticed a pattern here. I think men tend to fairly accurately self-assess their own level of physical attractiveness, whereas
I've heard
women
men
not so
have
much.
more self-esteem issues than women do.
What's that?
I've heard men have more self-esteem issues than women do.
What is she talking about? No, they do not. We don't have makeup. We don't change our bodies around for the most part. We don't look in the mirror every second of the day. Some do, but majority no. So no, I don't feel like men have more self-esteem issues. That's just a lie. But we also got to talk about it. I do feel like men do have a better understanding of where they are in society because society doesn't kiss men's ass. And I'm going to just be honest. Like, do we want to have an honest conversation here? Do we want to talk real? Like, I feel like men from the time that they're born, they have to show their value. They have to work for what they get. Women are told that they're cute from the time that they're raised and told that they're beautiful and all these things all the way up to where they're at now. So men ranking themselves lower per se, I think has something to do with results in terms of maybe when they go out, they don't get that much attention. Has something to do with just understanding that, hey, I ain't maybe that big as what some people might think I am. So, yeah, I feel like men, for the most part, do have a better understanding of where they rank among other people in society.
feel like I
Uh,
disagree a little.
Why would you say
And-
that?
Just, and I also heard that they're also more emotional.
Are they?
Who have you heard these?
What is she talking about? Now she heard that they're more emotional too. I never heard that. It's always been women are more emotional. She's been on the rock all her life.
Yeah,
Think
because
so?
well, I mean, you guys will act off based off pride, and that is going to be like an emotion thing, not necessarily logic.
Do you think
But-
men or women have more cosmetic surgery?
I think probably women.
Yeah, probably women. Do you think that that's because they have way more self-esteem than men?
I
That's a good
don't
point.
think that necessarily what I'm talking about is the same thing. I just mean,
Nah,
like,
well, I think it
This
is.
metric.
well, for instance, you just rated yourself a 4, right?
Yeah.
And maybe people may not agree with you, and I just rated myself a 10, and people may not agree with me, right? But we're just talking about simple or self-esteem. My self-esteem is clearly higher.
No,
than
I'm
yours.
not sure that we are. I think that what we're talking about is a value judgment. And I think that I'm making a way better value judgment than the value judgment that you're making. So the
Mhm.
value judgment that I'm making is this. I'm old and I'm married and I'm out of shape and I smoke, right? And I'm not a very pleasant person to be around for long periods of time, especially for the opposite sex. Like I know all of these things about myself. So my value judgment overall is a 4. Tell me the value judgment of how you came to a 10.
Oh yeah. I just think that in general, we should think that we are great.
Right. So you just decided it with there's no value judgment there. You just decided it.
Yeah, he asked me what I would rate myself, and
Yeah.
because it's my opinion
Looks.
about myself,
Just looks.
I'm took a long time for me to love myself, and I do now. And so yeah, I think that like, I'm a Misty 10.
I have a
No,
question for you. Wait, hold on, just one sec. Do you
And
think
you're
Let her go.
7.5.
I said 8.
Oh.
Yeah, get it right.
How
Andrew.
did you
Get
come,
it right,
how did you
Andrew.
come to that value judgment?
Because I don't put within my value within rigidity. That's not the right word. Rigidity. Thank you.
Rigidity, yeah.
Rigidity.
I don't put that within that rigidity of certain, I guess,
Value judgments.
more subjective opinions about what value is, because I know my value, I know my worth, and I know my beauty that I hold within myself for myself, and that is appreciated by other people. Because at the end of the day, beauty is subjective, and it is absolutely within my right to hold myself to a higher value and how I conduct myself in the world around me.
Yeah, but when you're talking about the value judgment here, my wife, I'm sure that she has a way higher value judgment of me than I have of me. I would agree that she probably should. From her subjective assessment, she probably thinks I'm a great provider. She thinks I'm a great father. She thinks I take care of all of my responsibilities and duties. She can 100% trust me. So she probably has this really high value judgment of me. But when I'm doing an actual assessment of me, like Andrew Wilson, the person, and my looks and how it's reflected outwards to other people, right? I'm adding this value, this value, this value, this value, this value, like a mathematical formula to come up with that equals 4. What are you doing to come up with that other than I just think that we should have high
I like this guy. You know why I like this guy? Because he is asking the questions that most of us want answered. And he's not scared. And I think a lot of that has to do with he has a wife too. So he don't really care what he's going home to somebody anyways. But her response to why she chose 8, not good enough. Beauty is subjective, but results are also reality. So if you're not getting a whole lot of attention from the people that you deem attention from, which I would go on a limb here, make a guess that you're not, then your value, there's a value there, and you can't just erase results to fit your value and how good you think you are. We also got to factor in what people around you also deem where you rank. And if women around you are telling you that you're beautiful and that you're an 8 and that men are stupid for not wanting you, they're not your friend.
self-esteem so that because I just think so.
Because I know I'm a good person. Because frankly, if we want to get aesthetic, I don't have a busted face. I'm fat. And if people want to reduce my value because of my fatness, that's not my problem. And that is not the
That's not your problem. Eating is your problem. What are you talking about? That's not. Yes, your weight is your problem. That's dangerous. There's nothing even like. There's no benefits of being that big, except for the fact that if we were getting chased by a bear, no, that's not even a benefit. The only benefit of being that big is if we were stranded in the woods and the food was, how you say it, scarce. There was no food. You would live a little longer than me. That's the only benefit. You would be able to live off of them extra fat fibers that's in your body for however amount of time, and I'll be probably dead somewhere, and you'll probably try to eat me. But there is a problem, and I'm not even trying to be rude, but like when people are living out of reality, somebody needs to step in and bring reality into it. Now, you know what I mean? Like I said, there's of course there's men out there that will take that down and love her, and might be even a special guy out there that'll marry her. All kudos to them, and I wish her the best. But to sit here and act like she's an 8 when you're comparing her to even the woman next to her, it's not true. Subjective my ass.
ideology I hold for myself. I am someone who is pursuing weight loss, not for aesthetics, not for looks, but for my health. And it is something I'm moving forward with because I have been for the past 2 to 3 years now working on my self-love and loving myself into a place to care enough about myself to take my health back into control.
If you care about yourself enough, then you would understand, yes, you can have value. Yes, you can, you know what I mean? You can love yourself, but loving yourself also has to do with getting better. And if you think you're an 8 from where you're at, you really aren't. I don't think that you're truly loving yourself. I'll say if you brought it down to a 4, then hey, listen, we got some motivation, we got some goals to achieve, and hey, I'll love myself once I get myself right. Like I'll love myself even more once I get myself right. But to set your standards to where you're at, now you got a lot to go. But if you enjoyed this video, please hit that like and subscribe button. And y'all see that Cash App down below, man. If you're feeling generous, you can throw me a couple dollars. I mean, I would appreciate that. But until next time, I'm gonna holla at y'all.